Okay guys, in this video I want to go through what we did in class about creating these congruent polygons through mappings of translations, reflections, and rotations. Okay, so in GeoGebra, opening it up, I need to get rid of a couple things. This we'll get rid of the axes here. Okay, and we'll go to the menu bar here with the triple bars, and we'll go to turn off a couple things and turn a couple things on. So we're going to go to view, and we're going to take away the algebra view. We're going to go back to that menu, and we're going to go to options down here, and in the labeling options we're going to choose all new objects to label. Okay, so that gives us a pretty clean slate to start with. And so we're going to construct congruent polygons through translations. Okay, polygons are with this tool here. Click it on, build a polygon, start at a given point, decide how many sides you want. Okay, and end back up at the point where you started. Okay, so all sides and all angles are labeled. Okay, so there's my polygon, and I can move that and alter it in any way I want. Okay, as shown in doing this. Okay, the translation is is creating congruent polygons. Okay, um, through a slide in a given direction and for a given direction and a given distance. So I got to go to what's called a vector. I'm going to create a vector here, and it really doesn't matter how long or short it is. And then to do the create the polygons from translation, I'm going to go to this menu item up here, and I'm going to go and select the translate by vector. So, and it tells me select the object and the vector. So I'm going to select the object and select the vector, and there's my congruent polygon that I created through a translation, which is again to imply that I've created two congruent polygons through a mapping by sliding in a given direction through a given distance. By sliding through a given direction in a given distance. So this down here controls, okay, the direction and the distance. So the further I pull out point G, the further these two congruent polygons get, and the direction is altered as well. If I pull this back, then I can see the mapping of the two polygons congruent, one right on top of the other. Okay, they are congruent, and therefore any changes I make to the original, okay, the congruent polygon changes accordingly. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go through and create the congruent polygons by a rotation. Just going to undo a few things that were done here. Okay. And I'm going to rotate about a point, which means I'm going to put a point anywhere. Okay. And I'm going to rotate around a point with this option. So I'm going to select the object and select the point. Then it's going to ask me by how many degrees and in what direction. Let's just do 90 degrees. Click on OK, and there is my congruent polygon by rotation. So that means that this original polygon was swung around, okay, through 90 degrees, and that can be actually shown here by creating this little segment connecting if I connect my corresponding angles through the angle of rotation there, I will see that I have a 90-degree angle. So in other words, here again, okay, if these points are matched up, okay, then there will be that 90-degree angle existing between them, okay, which is in keeping with the rotation there. Okay, and if I move that, okay, that 90-degree angle maintains. Okay, and lastly, we'll do the congruent polygons by a reflection across a line. So I'm going to make a line through any 2 points. Okay, and I'm going to come up here. I'm going to do a reflection across a line. So select the line, select the object, select line, and there it is. Okay. Um, and again, if I want to alter this, I can. If I alter the original, then the duplicate is changed accordingly. If I change the orientation of that line, it's changed as well. Sometimes this is good when we're looking at what we call if I want to put a set of axes in there. Okay, this is good because as you'll see, let's get rid of that. Okay, if I can move my line to coincide with like the axes over here, this is then a reflection across the axes. Okay, which is kind of cool. And maybe I need to pull them apart so they're not overlapping. There they are. They're reflected across the, basically now they're reflected across the y-axis, okay? Which is kind of cool, all right, because you can see how the points, the coordinates of each point would change, okay? So there it is. That's our congruent polygons. This one we looked at is from reflection across a line, but we also did rotations about a point, and the translation in a given direction through a given distance. Okay, and there you have it.